Welcome to the must-see WWE Talk Show Wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling Untold.
Yeah.
This is episode 51.
51.
Whew.
Made it over that 50 mark. We're on 51.
Then in this episode,
I am Keaton, a.k.a. Huge Mr. Bret Hart fan. You are?
Carter, a.k.a. Shawn Michaels all the way.
All right. So what's today's episode about?
Today's episode is about, I'm super excited, heel turns.
Heel turns. We discussed two of the most iconic heel turns, just two. Over the years, there's been an enormous amount of heel turns. It's a part of wrestling. It means you're a good guy and you become a bad guy. So
make sure you guys go like, follow, share, and go to our Instagram, Carter_TV. Click, 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 click.
Yeah.
And watch some videos.
Yeah, go check us out. Check out Carter and Joe. We're both trying to figure out if they could blindfoldedly guess what jelly bean flavors it was. That's our Easter episode. If you get a chance, go back to our Christmas episode. Check out the greatest toy, according to Carter, in that matter. With a ton of episodes. Go back and check them out. Check out our WrestleMania episode. So let's talk about, before we get into our two people, and we'll reveal them in a second. There's been a bunch of heel turns. That's just a part of wrestling. When I was younger, you had Roddy Piper. He was babyface turned heel. Same thing about Backlund. He's a babyface. He eventually became heel. There's a bunch of wrestlers. The Rock was a babyface. He eventually became heel. What about your day?
I would say what's his name?
Seth Rollins or KO?
Yeah, Seth Rollins was a great heel. KO was one. But the Usos are a really good one. They are a really good one.
Yeah, we're waiting on the New Day to turn heel. They're not giving it to us. They don't want to give it to us. I don't know. Yeah. So let's reveal our people first, okay? So Carter's got someone from from present day wrestling. I have someone that's a retired. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. So you first tell me who yours is, and I will.
My person is the head of the table. He is the tribal chief. He is the leader of the bloodline. He is Roman Reigns.
Yeah, we should give you a microphone for that. So my guy is, he is undoubtedly one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He told the kids to, make sure they eat their vitamins. He missed out on having a grill named after him. Instead, he got a blender. George Foreman got the grill, by the way. Another backstory. Maybe we'll give it to you at the end.
Oh my gosh.
That's from the words of him. He wears the iconic colors. He means a lot to wrestling, but after a while, he just got old. He is the Hulk Hogan, also known as Hollywood Hulk Hogan, who is the heel turn of Hulk Hogan. So I'm excited about that because I remember living the day that happened. So let's get down to it. Let's get to the brass tacks. We're gonna go Roman first. Let's figure out what day he turned heel. What day that we saw this happen?
Okay. Everyone was excited for The Fiend, Braun Strowman, SummerSlam. This is 2020. The fans, I don't know if they were there. They probably weren't. It was 2020. It was August. It was August 23rd. Okay. So they're just fighting and pounding and pounding and pounding. And then someone just gets in the ring all wearing all black and he's just fighting them. And then he turns around and it's Roman Reigns. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Roman Reigns attacks The Fiend and Braun Strowman.
He's back, right? Because he's gone. He was gone. He's back.
But he's back as heel. The Fiend ended up winning the championship from Braun Strowman that night. Whew. And everyone was just like, whew.
Yeah.
People could not wait to watch SmackDown after that.
Yeah, we had to know what was going on. Roman had been gone for quite some time. He was dealing with some personal health issues, and he came back in a major way.
And then on SmackDown, it was the best SmackDown. I felt like Roman Reigns is talking with Pierce, and he's sitting down on a chair, and then the camera all of a sudden zooms out, and all we see is Paul Heyman.
Oh, say that so. Brock Lesnar's guy. The guy he had feuded with and who had pummeled him forever.
And then one of my favorite Tribal Chief promos was when Roman Reigns was like, I'm going to win the Universal Champion. I'm going to defeat all these guys. And then Paul Heyman turns and gets on his shoulder and is like, look at Pierce and stare. Believe that.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So that was Roman's.
Take it in.
That was his heel turn. Huge. It was huge because we were so confused on what was happening. What is Paul doing Roman? You know, like what's happening here? Brock wasn't there. We basically assumed, okay, now Roman's gonna get the treatment. He's gonna get the good treatment that Brock Lesnar got.
Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, he did the Make-A-Wish programs and stuff. He does this stuff," and he's all, "Wow."
Yeah. So the year was 1996.
Oh.
Young Keaton was he hadn't turned 13 yet. He was 12. His channel stayed on the USA Network because that's what channel WWF came on. It was Monday nights. He was glued to it. 1996, Bret Hart meant everything to Keaton. But a couple other guys did too. But Bret Hart was above and beyond. And then there was a next ring of tier of wrestlers. Shawn Michaels meant nothing to him. So it was 1996. And these two gentlemen showed up at WCW. And I hate to give you all the backstory. I'll give you a snippet of it. They show up at WCW. They call themselves the Outsiders. Diesel, Razor Ramon are now Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, and they are basically just that. They're outsiders. Yes.
Didn't they have a fake outsider in WWF, or am I thinking for something?
They had a fake Razor Ramon, a fake Diesel in WWF. Yeah, I told another story. But one of them ended up being Kane.
Oh my gosh.
So they show up and they tell WCW, "You get your 3 top guys. We'll get our 3 top guys." There's only 2 of them at the time, and for quite some time, Hulk Hogan started wrestling in '77. We'll go back to all that, but at the end of the day, he's been wrestling a long time, and we were tired of him. We're in the '90s. It's an attitude era. People, good means bad, bad means good, and Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, they get into this match. And, everyone thinks Sting is the 3rd member. It just makes sense because Sting has transformed himself to this new character. And Sting wasn't the 3rd man. The 3rd man, he came out in his yellow and red trunks. He hadn't been seen for, I believe, 2 years. And we all think wrestling savior's here to get rid of these WWF guys, And he puts a leg drop on, I believe, regardless, I think it was Macho Man or somebody. He leg drops one of these guys. Like, it could have been Lex Luger. Who knows? Who cares? And that was the ultimate heel turn. And he made this iconic speech. And it was basically, you can call this the New World Order of Wrestling, brother. And I couldn't get enough Hulk Hogan in that. It's such an iconic, and it's trash being thrown in the ring. It's Daytona Beach. And the pay-per-view is Bash at the Beach. The pay-per-view is on July 7th, 1996. I was 12 years old. Who would know I was going to have a son on the same day, July 7th, and, way farther than that when I was an adult, naturally. So 7/7 is an important day for me because it was a day Hulk Hogan turned heel, and it's also a day that our host of Wrestling Untold was born. You can send him gifts when 7/7 comes. We'll put that up on the page so you guys can send him gifts. So that was a heel turn.
That was terrible.
That was a point in my life where my TV no longer could stay on channel 16, I believe was USA. It had to go from that to TNT. It had to go back and forth and really stay on TNT more. So that's just the heel turn. So let's get into the juicy stuff about these. I'm going to let you talk more about Roman and we'll get back to Hulk Hogan. Ooh. Triple H, Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Triple H. Okay, so he then, when he went to SmackDown, what I was just talking about, that was August 28th.
Mm-hmm.
Payback was weird because it was... SummerSlam was the 23rd of August, and Payback came around the 30th of August. So that was a week.
It never happens. They never do 2 pay-per-views back to back.
Unless it's like NXT or something. So Payback comes around, and it's supposed to be a triple threat, but it's not. It's just Braun Strowman and The Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just going. And then we see Paul Heyman walk out, Roman Reigns walk out. Roman Reigns signs the contract, and then he runs in the ring and he starts beating up.
Yeah.
I don't know which one, but he beat up one of them, and then he got in the ring and speared one of them and pinned one of them. I don't know which one it is. I have to say one of them. And just like that, Paul Heyman is holding the precious championship like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a prop to show you, but like
Why didn't you bring the belt in? So that's Roman. So Roman, he won the championship there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Payback.
Which is huge. So one of the other things I want to mention about Roman's heel turn is that he got new teeth also, which is, you don't know how much different new teeth makes, but he looks so much more menacing with these new teeth also. It's very weird. Can't wait to get mine. But so the following pay-per-view, which was called Hog Wild, which WCW had some really rugged pay-per-view names: Bash at the Beach, Hog Wild. It was really, WCW was based in like Southeast America, Baltimore, which we are in. It was a huge hub for WCW, but so was Daytona. So Hog Wild came up 30 days later, and that's actually where the Big Show was holding the title, and he went up against you know, look and see where that happened.
I don't know what Hog Wild
1996, yeah, 1996.
Oh my!
Where was it? Oh, South Dakota. Makes sense. Hog Wild. It's a biker state.
What's Hog Wild?
Like hogs, like is a type of motorcycle. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's. I don't know.
That is weird.
I don't ride those types
That's
of
a
motorcycles.
weird name.
Whatever the case. Hulk Hogan shows up in his black and white, which is very iconic. He got rid of the yellow and red. Yellow and red was symbolic for everything that was successful and that kids loved. The yellow and red.
Successful and what kids love.
Yeah, yellow and red is very iconic. Tell me where the yellow and red came from.
Mickey D's.
McDonald's. So whoever was
Ray Kroc.
Yeah, whoever was in charge of making sure Hulk Hogan would be super successful, then they came on and says, because he needed colors to wear. I think he just wore yellow. And they said, you got to put red with that, because red and yellow equals McDonald's, and kids love McDonald's, so they're going to gravitate to it. Iconic. It's down to a point where like a yellow and red Corvette is the Hulk Hogan Corvette. Like, you know, when you have it's red, the Corvette paint is red, and the top, soft top is like a yellow or goldish. You think it's iconic, those colors put together. And I don't know if that's because of Hulk Hogan or McDonald's. I digress. But he ended up, he beats the Big Show. I want to call him Andre the Giant. He beats Big Show. He beat Andre the Giant also in WrestleMania 3.
You mean Giant?
Was he just Giant at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. Did WWE name him Big Show, or was he?
Big Show.
Because I think they had an issue with him using Giant as a name because Andre the Giant. But he beats him, and he does another iconic thing. He takes that amazing WCW World Championship and he sprays, paints NWO on it, and that was such a great championship with the spray paint on it. And then he'd come down when his music come out, and he'd just be strumming it like it's a guitar. A great entrance. Velveteen Dream, remember he paid homage to that entrance too. He came out like that, dressed as Hulk Hogan, and it was just so
He should
great.
have came out with red and yellow. Then
Well,
he'd be still here.
I don't know. So that is, he ended up, in his time with WCW and WWF, he won 12 world championships, 6 with WCW, 6 with WWF, and it's just like, he's just he became. It's almost like he reinvigorated his life, because Hulk Hogan's Hulk Hogan. He's everything, and then after a while, he just wasn't. And it was like a genie in a bottle coming out to see this Hollywood Hulk Hogan in this black and white. He's no longer in this yellow and red. He's got this mean crew with him, and though the NWO, that shirt is so iconic. I wish I had one of those shirts. It's such an iconic shirt that you see everywhere, and that really changed wrestling. How many people were in NWO? I only count NWO as the original members, so that is the Outsiders, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and if you want to put X-Pac in it, fine. But once they got out of control, when they had the Wolfpack, they started adding all these people. It's too much. It was too much. It started degrading everything. But I digress. Yeah, there again. It's just too many people. He's looking at the amount of people in the NWO. It was just too much. They had a red and black NWO. They had a white and black NWO. The red and black was a Wolfpack. It made no sense at all. No sense. So again, Hulk Hogan, a lot of this comes because we watched Evil documentary series on Peacock. And basically he talked about, Hulk Hogan was a big one. and they talked about like, you know, you had these kids who were like coming up in this attitude era, in this era of the bad guys good, good guys bad, and they loved Hollywood Hulk Hogan, but their parents who came up in this Hulk Hogan was everything, like hated the fact that Hulk Hogan turned. And one of the kids on the documentary, I don't remember who it was, he says that his parents wouldn't allow him to wear his NWO Hulk Hogan shirt in their house because they were huge fans of Hulk Hogan, you know, the American Hulk Hogan.
And they ripped up his NWO poster.
Oh, they did, didn't they? So let's get back to tribal. Let's get back to the tribal chief.
Okay, so after Roman Reigns did what he did, he gets into a fight and begins a rivalry with his cousin Uso.
Ah,
Jey Uso.
Jey Uso, yeah.
And then he fights at Clash of Champions, and I don't know why these pay-per-views were so close to each other in 2020.
They're knocking them off one at another.
Like, man.
Yeah.
And then he actually tapped him out.
Mm-hmm. But didn't Jimmy come in and cover him like you know?
So the match is over, and Roman still got him in the lock, and then the other Uso comes out and starts trying to get him off, and then Roman gets in a fight with both of them, and it's like, wow, family fighting.
Yeah.
And then I recall there was a promo after it where Roman Reigns was like, I'm gonna beat you again. I can beat you again just like we were little kids.
So it's almost like like the whole thing of before you can be with me, I have to crush you, and that's a true heel. It's not just you're my family, you're with me. It's I'm gonna crush you and I'm gonna put you in your place, and then you're gonna follow me. That's a huge heel move. All too often, heels can be annoying, and that is not the type of heels that we like. Yeah. We like a heel that's just a menace. We don't like a Sami Zayn who's just annoying. Or like Kevin Owens lately have just been annoying. Like, but again, I know there's a place for annoying heels. Here, we just don't particularly enjoy them.
Okay, I like NWO, a 3-people faction, Bloodline. I feel like they sold the most merch. Don't you think? That merch is great.
Yeah.
He actually got the Usos a tag team match, and they are now 279 days as SmackDown Tag Champions. Now they would have went to 250 days because if Books didn't get injured. But I'm so grateful for the Usos, even though my name's Rick.
Boogs. Yeah.
Roman Reigns is champion for 602 days.
Have you told him his famous tagline? Have you Roman Reigns?
Oh, acknowledge me.
Yeah, so simple. So simple. He was so bad on the mic prior to when he was a babyface. And it's like, out of nowhere, he becomes a heel, and he's so great on the mic. And just that simple, you know, Baltimore, acknowledge me, you know, or whoever he is. It's just,
I don't think he
sweet.
He came to Baltimore as heel.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Don't know.
I just throw it in there because that's our city.
Okay, and then at WrestleMania, not this one, but the last year one, 2021, he defeated Daniel Bryan and Edge. He put Daniel Bryan on top of Edge and pinned them both. And he embarrassed Daniel Bryan so much, Daniel Bryan left WWE and went to AEW. And Edge is just, whew.
Yeah.
I feel like Edge is one of those people that McMahon doesn't want to put them down here, so he keeps them up here for like forever. Edge has always been on top. Like
he's a good wrestler. He's great on the mic. I mean, his sometimes when he gets a ring and he gets that mic in his hand, oh, it's just a masterpiece. Edge is a Hall of Famer still wrestling essentially.
Like Rey Mysterio.
Wow.
Okay, I had to throw it in there.
Yeah. But again, there's so many heels because Edge is a great heel. There's so many heels that we love, but the heel turn is very, very important. Now, some would say like Rock, heels turn, but we weren't like Rock. We were tired of seeing the Rock. So when he turned heel, it wasn't super iconic. We were happy he turned heel. We were happy of the result, but it wasn't an iconic moment. The same thing for like Stone Cold was already heel, but he was a heel that we didn't care about. And then when he beat Jake the Snake Roberts, they really call that his official heel turn.
I feel like his heel turn was when he hit all those beers shaved Vince's head off.
That was even
shaved
after.
him,
That was
stunned
after.
him.
That was after King of the Ring.
Oh, that was after.
That was
Rivalry
after
with
King of the
McMahon?
Ring started everything for him because he was a
Oh.
ringmaster. He was with Ted DiBiase as the $1 Million champion.
Everyone don't like Ted DiBiase, just like Paul Heyman. You put him with
He was
Paul.
stunning Steve. Yeah. Yep.
You put a random person with this angry manager,
Yeah.
and then they turn heel.
So
pretty
we
much.
we love a you know, if you're a great heel, you're a great heel. You're gonna get cheered. At one point, everyone booed the heel because the heels. A lot of wrestling was stereotypes and what was going on in the world at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So Vince would make all the heels like the Iron Sheik because he's Middle Eastern. He was a heel. The Russians, the Germans, anyone that's not American, he put his American person against some foreigner, and they were like the heel, or just essentially some person that he felt to be a bad guy. And they were, you know, and a lot of jobbers
Roddy
were
Piper
heels.
was a heel.
Roddy Piper was a heel. He
Ric
was a babyface
Flair.
for a while, but he became a heel. Ric Flair, talk about, so Ric Flair is undoubtedly one of the greatest heels. I don't know when he turned heel, but I know Ric Flair's always been Ric Flair, so it really doesn't matter when he turned heel. I don't know, he's always been Ric Flair. He's a great heel. And his daughter Charlotte is a great heel also.
Yeah. I'm tired of her though.
We want to see Ronda turn heel and just wreck shop.
I don't want to see Ronda at all.
I
I
don't
don't like Ronda.
I don't like her as a babyface. She's not good.
I don't like her at all.
Yeah, so we want to see. I think the key to getting Ronda over is to have another MMA fighter come in, like a Misha Tate, someone who doesn't mind stepping away from MMA, is still good, come in and actually fight Ronda, and I mean have more of a have more of a brawl as opposed to these
What if
wrestling
she has
matches
a
you're
promo
trying
with
to have.
Shayna Baszler and she turns heel on her?
That could, but nobody. Shayna Baszler, like, I don't know. You know what? That might work. I don't want to discount Shayna Baszler because she's also a great heel. We like her as a wrestler. But yeah,
they paired her with Nia Jax. Both of them weren't doing anything, and they were great.
Too good. That's a great pair together.
Yeah.
That to me is the Owen Hart, Yokozuna. Not saying it
Yeah.
because of it's just not like Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax were so different. And Owen Hart and Yokozuna were so different, but they were both very great heels together. And they were tag
It's
team
not like they're
champions.
brothers and they're family.
Yeah. Yep. So
Let's close it out.
wow, I love this episode. God,
We're gonna do another one.
We'll do another one?
Yeah.
All right. So
I got
we'll stick
somebody
to
in mind.
Okay, all right. I'm with it. All right. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Make sure you
Like, follow, share, subscribe. Go to our Instagram. Click, click, click. See you next time.
yeah. So we'll see you guys.
We need some music. Dun, 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 dun.
Follow us on Instagram, Carter_TV.